All right, good morning, teachers. I hope everybody is doing well. So I am doing this video to expedite the process of entering Csec marks because as we know, the deadline is the 30th of May, right? This video will explain how we're going to get through, using different steps as you can see on the screen now. And this is phase one. And while I go through the video, it will become clearer on what is phase one and phase two. But for now, we're going to start with phase one, where we'll start with step one. So we get straight into the video. If you are doing group work, please email me the groups via stbc1956@gmail.com. Or you can call me at 688-9597 or WhatsApp or text or whatever the case is. Right? So if you're doing group work, I need to put the students into group onto the system first, and then we'll go through the other steps, right? So that's the first phase, right? The first step, actually, I should say. All right. So if you're doing group work, please email me the groups via that email, or you could give me a call as well, or WhatsApp me the groups on the phone, or whatever the case is, and we could put the students into groups, and then we move on to step two. Step two is follow the link and download the Excel file. So attached to this email, you will get a link, right, to a Google Drive folder that has Excel files. Now, it may not fully be populated by the time you get in this email. I still have to it. I only now started it. So by the end of today or tomorrow, it should become available. All right. So let me explain. I have it open here. So this is the link. I actually have the link here. All right. So I'll show you how simple it is. So now you just basically open a new tab, right? And if you open a new tab and you paste this in, right, you will get Excel sheets, right? And this is specific to your class. Now, if you see Excel sheet in here, but you did not send me the groups yet, I will delete it and re-upload it because it will show the groups when we fix the groups in the system, right? So I have Miss Solomon's group here, and in order to download it, right? So you find your sheet because each sheet will be named Akina Solomon, Christian John, and it will have all the names of teachers. Now, this is not for science, right? Physics, Chem, and Bio has already uploaded, and they were awaiting moderation, right? Other subjects too, like music and art and theater arts, I think the same thing applies, right? They might have to enter the mark here, but they still wait in moderation and things like that. I have no information on that whatsoever. I do not know how that moderation is going to take place, etc., etc. Right? So we waited information on that. Nothing has come forth so far. All right, so back to the Excel sheet. So if this applies to you, you need to come and get your Excel sheet. You right click and you hit download. And then they'll ask you where you want to download it. And then it will be downloaded to your desktop in this case for me. And then I could click right here and open it, or go on the desktop and open it. So this is all the students that Ms. Solomon teaches, right? So let's get it. So they have sequence number. We don't interfere with that. First name, last name, estimated rank, estimated grade, groups, right? So this group needs to change. All right, so let me just do this. I was messing with it earlier, so please ignore what I'm doing now. I'll just fix it real quick, right? Because it'll cause a problem after. Right, so we have the groups, right? And obviously, if you send me the groups, these groups will change. But if you're doing single SPA for every child, well, then this is how it will look, depending on the number in your class. P1 score, P2 score, P3 score. If you only have P2 and P3, this might be grayed out like how we do have P4 and P5 in geography and total. So let me just show you quickly how you enter the grade and the rank, and then we'll go to the P1, P2. So estimated rank, let's just say this boy is 15th. His grade is in letters, right? I had to figure that out. So it is like if you're doing 2, you press capital I twice, right? If you are doing 5, you're grade 4, you could put 1V, right? And that's how they accept it, right? So let's say he gets a 2. And then P1 score, you just enter the marks 8, You could press across 8, and I just put 8 again, right? And then it will calculate the total for you. Right, this is where we go back to this document now. If you are missing a child, so you're going through and you realize that our child is missing, just fill out the whole document and don't worry about it. You contact me and say, Mr. Marad, Shiva, the child is missing, and we will fix that one child. What happens is that we have a situation where when the child submits the form for registration, sometimes they leave out the subject teacher, and it's very difficult to find that child and go and ask him which, teacher, which is your correct teacher, because sometimes he's not in school for a couple of days, etc., etc. So essentially, we just put them under teacher because that could change after. So you might put them under my name when it should really have been Miss Solomon's name, right? But that could fix that. That is not the issue. The point is just getting the child registered before the deadline is more important than the teacher. So there will be minor errors in these Excel sheets, and all you have to do is let me know, and I will call you, right? If you message me, I will call you because I have plenty extra minutes these days on my phone, and we will just fix that 1 or 2 children really quickly, right, on the system, and we'll be good to go with your entering of marks rather than, we try to fix the Excel sheet for everybody and that'll take more time. So this was the fastest route I found because I know there will be errors on the Excel sheet. If you have extra students too, just leave it blank. So let's go back to the sheet. If I see Luke Daniel, he is not in my class. He's not in Miss Solomon class, rather. Do not enter anything for him. Just leave him on the system, right? You enter what is, pertaining to you on the sheet. If you're seeing people that you don't know, leave them blank. If you're missing students, let me know the students you're missing and I will allocate them for your class. And also, if you're seeing people who you don't know, let me know as well, and I will take them off and put them to the other teacher. All right, that's a very simple thing, and I'll show you why that's important. So this is, we'll just do a couple. So estimated rank, let's say this child is ranked 3rd. This child is going to get grade 1 by our thing. You see, I've put 1, but it's not supposed to be a 1, it's supposed to be an I. All right, then see it auto thing for me there. All right, so 1. That says he gets 10, tab 10, tab 10. All right, so just using random. So he gets 30 out of 40 in this case. All right, now I save this. Then you email it to me when you're finished filling it out, but I just want to show you how this works. All right, so I save it, email to me. My job is just to download it, and I'll show you how this works now. So if I go to the SBA marks now, I could click here, go to Miss Solomon's sheet, right? I think it was the second sheet here, and hit upload. And look what happens. EGAD, rank 15th, grade 2, group 1, 88824. Look at I, rank 3, grade 1, group 2, 10, 10, 10. So you see, it's very simple, right? And if you have any issues with the sheet, well, obviously, we will just go and add in that 1 child or 2, or even maybe 3 or 4, or take away a few children from your class, right? And put them into the other class. So that's faster. You just need to contact me using my phone number. I will call you back if there's anything, and we will get that sorted out really quickly. All right, so that's very simple how to do the Excel sheets. All right, so if there are any issues with students missing, or you have extra students, please contact me. Fill out the Excel sheet and email the file to stbc1956@gmail.com. All right, so that's where we are there now. Let me see, I have some notes here. All right, so this does not apply to sciences and things like art. It does apply to art because you have to put in the marks. It does apply to theater arts if you have to put in the marks. But in terms of the moderation, the next part where we have to upload the SPs, it may not apply. Right, so if you have group work, please let me know. You might see a file in there, but it has not been allocated to groups. So let me know the groups first. I will delete the file and then re-upload it with the Excel sheet for the proper groups. Also, if you are a subject with no SBA, so like HSB, I know for a fact Spanish, they have Spanish orals. Again, that's another subject we don't know what's going to happen with. and there's no SPA, you still have to put in the rank and grade. So your sheet will be there to put in the rank and grade. Right, so that's that. Um, so I have number 2, Excel file, child with no marks, leave the whole field blank. So if you have a child and you have no marks for the child, meaning that's how you can't get in contact with him, you're trying with Miss Barbara Ram to contact this boy to try to get a physical SBA because he can't type it or something like that, just leave it blank. We could come back to him and enter something later on, right? So just leave it if you have not received the SBA from any student. If you have an extra child or missing a child, just fill it out and save it and email it and contact me after. We will just work on those minor little errors in the system, right? After you email it to me and I enter your marks, I will send you back a PDF with your marks, and please double check the marks. Obviously, it's clerical errors always happen, right? We're humans, so please double check to make sure I did not enter something wrong. Right, so I think we're up to mark there. Now we go to number 5. So number 5 is go to cxc.org and download. So you have your marks in, right? And as everybody know, if you didn't know, we have to upload every single SPA. So I'm very sorry for those who did not do groups, right? But you have to upload every single SPA. All right, so if you are English teacher and you have 27, 28 in your class and you did not do groups with them and you did individual SPs, you will have to upload 27 SPs plus you will have to get 27 cover sheets. So this is what number 5 is about. How do I get my cover sheets? All right, so I have it here. This is cxc.org. That's the web address. Right, so just type in cxc.org in your browser and you go to examinations, just put your mouse over it, go to examinations, and then this pops up and then you hit CSEC. All right, so this is how easy it is. On the right-hand side, it has all the subjects. So let me use geography as I've been using as Miss Solomon class. So Miss Solomon enters all her marks and she has all her marks in and she knows all her SPs are going up. So now she has to get the forms. So when you hit geography, see geography here, just hit SBA and there's the cover sheet. If you want a broadsheet, you could get a broadsheet from here as well. And there's other things like moderation and feedbacks and stuff like that. If you need it, each subject is different. You might need more than one form. Some people have mark sheets, etc. So all these things can be found here. So if I click on it, it will come up here, right, as a PDF. And you could just hit download this download icon here and you save it wherever. Now, this is where it gets complicated and that's where we might end up into phase 2. Also, if you are able to print all 27 sheets, if you have a big class on your own at home, you can go ahead and do so. But if obviously you need to go in school, you need to talk to Mr. Quancap. That's where you'll see it on the phase 2. One last thing, candidate numbers is in the folder. So if you go back to the Google folder, I put all the candidate numbers here. So you see all the candidate numbers when you're filling out your cover sheets. You will need to get the candidate numbers. It is right in here. So look, you can see it right on the side here. All right, so it is in the folder. It will be register of candidates. All right, that'll be there together with the Excel files. File naming, that's the last phase for me. This is number 6 for phase 1. All right, oh yeah, so going back to number 5, just one more thing. If you have 27 students, you have to do 27 cover sheets. And if it's maths, I think you have to do a mark scheme. I'm not sure. You all will know better. Use your syllabus as a guide. All right, so file naming now. This is where it gets a little bit more complex as well too. Please see the PDF and it will be attached to this email and it will be in the Google Drive as well. In the folder in the Google Drive, it will be pages 3 to 7. All right, so I have it open here and I'm on page 3 up here. And you can see that firstly, file sizes for one candidate or group must not exceed 20 megabytes. Right, so you need to double check that. Right, and then they have these file naming. Now, recently, as up to April, they said, sent an email, the school sent me an email stating that so anybody who misnames the file will get sent back. They will send it back to us and they will not accept it. That's how serious they is in the file naming. The first year they implemented this, I didn't do any file name, and I find it was ridiculous, and that we have to name all these files in this particular order, and I got away with it. But the second year, they actually sent back 2 sets of subjects, and it was a minor things with numbers. We did the file name in the second year, and now they're even more strict with it. That they're saying that, oh, if you don't have the file name properly, and the deadline date has passed, you could take non-submission essentially, right? So again, CXC doing what they want to do, right? That's a different story altogether. So file names, candidate number is 10 digits. Then you have the moderation code, which is 8 digits, and then the document number. So you need to read this through. I can't explain this whole thing in detail with you. They give you examples, right? So in my case, if I'm doing a child and his candidate number is 10075, you put in the SBA moderation code and then the document number, right? And they give you examples here. And if it's a cover sheet, you put cover sheet to the end, right? So this would be how the file name would be. So what you need to do is rename each cover sheet this to the candidate number, and then you have to rename the SBA, right, to the specific candidate number as well, right? So they give it, if you have a mark scheme, this is the same thing, SBA moderation code. So candidate number, SBA moderation code, and then MS at the end, right? So you see how it looks here, right? This is how it looks here. So you have to read it through. It's specific to each subject, right? So you have to read it through and figure it out. And they give you the moderation codes at the end of the document. That's on page 6 and 7, right? But we only concerned with page 6 because page 7 is keep. So page 6 is the moderation codes for these subjects. So you just have to read it. So in my case, in geography, I have to submit 2 documents, and the 2 documents must be different. The first document is a cover sheet, which I will save as a picture, and I have to name it CS for cover sheet. So it's here, right? So I would do it like this. So CS1 for the first child, CS for the first child, CS1 for the second child, CS2 for the third child, and etc. etc. And if I'm doing the SBA, well, then you have to follow you just leave it. You don't have to put anything else. You just put the candidate number and the moderation code. And you distinguish the cover sheet by putting CS, right? As you can see here, right? So read it through and it will become simpler. But again, I am sorry for those who have 27 SBAs and you have to do 27 cover sheets and do name these 27 pages. And again, you have to name the 27 pages and then the 27 files, all right? So that's going to be a lengthy process, and that's why we doing this so that at least you can get started now. So that covers that. So that's how you get your cover sheet, right? So my cover sheet, and then basically after you get the cover sheet, well, you could see, so in school, if you have no access to printing, you could go in school and get it printed and print a few extra just in case you mistake each one. Then we go to phase 2. All right, so we have all the marks in and we're starting to prepare our SBAs, right? Some people, it will be very little SBAs. I did group work personally for geography and I only have 4 SBAs because I have 16 kids, four in each group, right? However, some people did not do that, and because based on their subject, and they have individual SBAs. So that will be a little bit of stressful on you, but I guess it has to be done. So phase 2 is putting individual SBAs into folders. So you see what I was speaking about before. You have to have your cover sheet for, let's say, Paul Smith, right? We use Paul here because his name's so generic. So for Paul Smith, and then we have to have the corresponding SBA for Paul Smith with the candidate numbers named properly based on the document I just showed you from CXC. And then you put that in one folder and you name it Paul Smith. And then you do it for the second child, third child, so you might end up with 27 folders. Because if you leave all in one document, like in one folder, then it starts to get confusing, right? And it will make uploading very difficult because we could possibly upload the wrong child to the wrong name. All right, so we have to be very careful. So I would suggest if you're doing 27 kids, put each of the 27 kids in 27 folders with their cover page. If it's maths, so add maths, so have on the mark sheet, and the SB itself. And don't forget the 4 or 5 formats have to be different, right? Meaning that so you have to have a picture for the cover page, and then probably a Word or a PDF for the um, SB. Now, maths or add maths, I can't remember last year, they built the mark scheme into the front of the SBAs, and that worked as well too. So that way you only have two documents, right? Those who have mark schemes, right? Now, then Mr. Kwankap and I will confer after this, and we'll discuss how you're gonna deliver it to me. Now, those who versed in these things and could do a cloud drive and put it in a cloud drive and send me the link for the folder, I could go ahead and download one by one, upload one by one, download. If you could email it, if you have small numbers, like how my geography is just 4 SBAs, and you could email it to me. It's not too much to figure out. I don't mind that either. You could email it to me and I could upload it one time, and then that's it. Right. But if you have to go in school and get things scanned and you have to print the cover sheets and stuff like that, well, then you could go and talk to Mr. Corncap, and he will ask Amit and Pierre and them to come out, and we could get this thing done on one same day. We're even talking about timetable and it per department, right, to get it done. So we could upload it the same day and we could have it. If you're not versed in the cloud drive thing, but you could name it and have it on a flash drive, you could drop off the flash drive in school. I pass and pick it up and I upload it for you that same day. All right, so they have options. That's the part for phase two, but we're not there yet. So we're looking at phase one, where we just recapping now. I know this video getting long, but it is a lot of things to talk about, right? If you're doing group work, you need to contact me via the email or my phone number. You could text me, WhatsApp me, I'll call you. Follow the link and download the Excel files. So that's where we go um, to the Google Drive, right? So that's where we get that. Um, if there are any issues with students missing or you have extra students, please contact me, but still fill out the Excel file and have the majority done. So you have 25 kids and you got 23 or 22 completed, at least we have that. If there are students that you see in the not on your list, do not enter anything for them, leave them blank. It will just remain blank on the database and I will move them out of your class. If you're missing anybody, I will put them into your class, and we could just do it over the phone, where I just put in the rank rate and we get that over with and you have all your marks in. Then if you're doing the Excel sheet route, you fill out the Excel sheet and you email the file to sdbc1956@gmail.com. Then after that, now when all your marks are inside and we get the clearance for that, then you go to cxc.org and download your cover sheet, right? And if to get the candidate's number, it will be in the folder where the Excel sheets are, right? And then file naming, that's the next step, right? You have all your SPs that you're ready to name, and you fill out your cover sheets, right? Some of you all last year took pictures of the cover sheets, so you have that as as a JPEG or picture, and then you have what the child sent you as a PDF or Word, and you can put them in individual folders and name each file. So you have to name the cover sheet, and then you have to name the Word document to the PDF document, right? When you finish all of that and you have them in separate folders, then you could probably contact Mr. Kwankep or contact me. And if you could put it on a cloud drive, I will individually take them and upload them for you. If you can't and you want to drop a flash drive in school, that could work too. Those who need assistance in the final part, where you need to, get a SBA scan because somebody wrote it out for you, or you need to print your cover sheets and stuff, you could talk to Mr. Kwankep and we could make a day in school where, you could come in and get those things done. Right. So as you can see, this thing, because we are not together in the school, they're going to take a little bit of doing, right? But this is the steps that we plan to take to get this task accomplished, right? As far as I know, the 30th of May is the deadline that we're working with, right? So we're going to stick with that. Or is it the 31st? Well, one of those 2 days, but we want to be finished by the 30th, right? And then we go to keep, right? There are many unanswered questions. How are we going to moderate the labs? How Mr. Ali had asked me, how are we going to do he have to give exams for his pure maths in unit 1 and unit 2? How is that going to happen? I think accounts has similar situations. How is art going to be moderated? How is the sciences going to be moderated? I have no answers to those questions. How is Spanish oral going to take place? I have no answers. CXC has not sent anything. They're just very quick to say, well, we're going ahead with the exams as possible, as planned, but no, collaboration, or well, not collaboration, but no correspondence on how these things going to take place. And lastly, I want to know the weighting of the SBA versus the multiple choice. What is the weight? 50-50? I mean, we're not getting these things. All right, but that's a different discussion. All right, guys, so thanks for being so patient. I hope you follow the steps. If you have any issues or any problems, my phone number is there. You could text me, WhatsApp me, or even call, and we could discuss it further. All right, but this is the steps that I see to making this the fastest way possible. All right, to finish this and get over with, for at least for CSEC. So please follow these steps. And if you have any further questions, please contact me. All right. So you guys take care, and I'll talk to you all very soon.